Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Haikal Ramadan with registration number 1952342 2008. I would like to present my research proposal with the title is the effectiveness of brainstorming technique to develop speaking skill of the second grade student of SMA 2 Jene. I would like to say thank you to my advisor is Munir SPD MED TESOL and Dr. Geminis Sakir SPD MPD. And I would like to say thank you for my examiners is Professor Dr. Haryanto MPD and Rian Raihana Sofian SPD MPD. For the first is Chapter 1, Introduction, Background. Speaking is one of the four language skills with listening, reading, and writing. It's a medium through which learner can communicate and stay connected with others, help in expressing ideas and information, express their opinion and point of view, and even feelings. Speaking is the most used language skill and makes speaking very important. Without speaking, we will face various problems in life. One of the language skill that students need to master in learning English is speaking ability. Students are expected to be able to speak English in class and be able to ask and answer questions in English, even though teachers have used various techniques, methods, or tools, the teaching skills are still low. Students are sometimes afraid and embrace to speak. They prefer to be silent when the teacher asks questions, especially in an oral form. In the other class, students are more active in talking with their friends because it makes them feel free. For the reason, research wants to apply brainstorming technique in the learning process and determine the effect of this technique. Next is problem statement. Number 1, does using the brainstorming technique affect the student speaking accuracy at SMA Negeri 2 Majene? Number 2 is does using the brainstorming technique affect the student speaking fluency at SMA Negeri 2 Majene? The third is does using the brainstorming technique affect the student speaking comprehensibility at SMA Negeri 2 Majene? Second is objectives of the research. Researchers want to describe the effectiveness of the brainstorming technique and develop student speaking skill. Based on the phenomena that researchers saw, the researchers were interested in researching and describing in the effectiveness of the brainstorming technique to develop speaking skill at SMA Negeri. Next is significance of the research. The result of the research should be provide the following benefits. First is theoretical significance. The research is expected to provide information and become a reference regarding the effectiveness of brainstorming technique in the process of listening, learning, speaking skill. Number 2 is practical significance. For the teacher, it can be a technique to develop the success oral group activities, and teacher can identify speaking problem faced by their student. Second is for students. It will be make them respect each other and share knowledge with other classmates. This brainstorming will improve their study, planning, and discussion skill, and ultimately increase their speaking skill. Chapter 2, Literature Review, Definition of Speaking. According to Siri Nifos, 2019, speaking is the most important of the four language skills to communicate well is globally world. Since English is international and widely spoken all over the world, to succeed in their respective fields, each student needs to improve his or her speaking skill to enlarge these opportunities. Speaking is a way to of conveying ideas through verbal message to create interaction. To make that happen, students must be able to confidently express what they want to say, make able to make real communication. Importance of speaking. Speaking is very important. Communication plays a major role in achieving success in all fields. Afrizal 2012 and Hossein Gilakjani 2016 says that speaking is very important for communication and creating interaction for everyone because they speak wherever, whenever, and at any time. Speaking is a way of communicating or expressing ideas and message verbally. Next is types of speaking. There are four types. Number one is imitative. Second is intensive. The third is responsive. And the last one is interactive. Next is component of speaking. According to Jill 2008, page 15, there are 5 components of speaking skill concerned with. First is comprehensibility. Is for oral communication is regards to subjects to respond and know how to well the produce language when speaking. The number 2 is grammar. Grammar is the structure of making sentences. Third, vocabulary. Vocabulary is one of the words included in the language, the diction used in communication. For pronunciation. Pronunciation is a way to pronounce or pronounce vocabulary. Number 5 is fluency. Fluency is the ability to read, speak, or even write easily, friendly, and expressly. Function of speaking. The first is talk as interaction. This is conversation where when people meet. The second is talk as transaction. Is talking to make yourself and message to be conveyed in is clear and accurate. Number 3 is talk as performance. Speaking as show leads a condition where we're speaking in public space. Example is lecture, class presentation, information announcement, or next is teaching speaking. Teaching speaking. Afri also gave some suggestion for the English language teacher while teaching oral language in a class. The first is to teachers should use technique that meet the learner need to focus on accuracy, interaction, meaning, and fluency. Second, teachers should create technique that can motivate students and encourage them to learn not only with their brains but also with their feelings. 3, the teacher makes students to use authentic language during the lesson so that the activity will be meaningful to them. 4, when students make mistake, teacher must correct them properly and appropriately so that they do not repeat the same mistake in the future. 5, the teacher must unify the activities during the activity. In learning, speaking cannot be separated from listening activities because the things are related. 6, the teacher should also give students the opportunity to start a conversation, for example, by expressing an opinion or asking questions. 7, teachers should assist students in developing and realizing their speaking strategies for their future development. Next is definition of brainstorming. Sugiono and Haryanto, 2005. Brainstorming is a group that provides a number of new ideas without having to check whether the idea is appropriate or not. This will make students more courageous and confident in doing it. And it's hoped that this method can support increasing student activity and learning process. Next is types of brainstorming. The first is traditional brainstorming, TBS. Second one is nominal brainstorming, or NBS. The last one is electronic brainstorming or EBS. Next is technique of brainstorming. There are two techniques for brainstorming. First is the free will. The free will is spin technique. Uphold the freedom of member groups in conveying ideas. This means that group members are free to speak without any restriction so that opinions can be channeled. Second one is round robin. Regular round technique means managing discussion member speaking. Discussion participants can only express their thoughts according to the rules and follow their turn. Participants are only allowed to present one idea in discussion round and turn. Importance of brainstorming. Brainstorming has a great importance in the teaching process for the students as follows. First is help students to solve problem in an innovative solution. Second is help students to benefit from the ideas of others through the development build of them. Three helps the cohesion of the student and build relationship among them and assess the views of others. Benefits of brainstorming is identifying problem, analyze the situation, flowing new ideas, analyze and determining alternative solution. Next is learning design. Learning design is process that terms have similar meanings. This makes people and it's difficult to discuss them. First is learning approach. The second, learning strategies. Three, learning method. Four is learning technique. And the last one is learning model. Chapter 3. First is research method. Research design. The research is experimental research type specifically pre-experimental one group post-test and pre-test. This one of type of quantitative research. Pre-experimental design, one group pre-test and post-test design has a pre-test to determine the basic abilities of student. Then the research gives treatment to student using brainstorming technique, and finally a post-test will be given. Thus the result of the treatment can be known more accurately because it compares with the condition before after being given treatment. Population and sample. Population of the research is the second grade student of SMA Negeri Lumajene, totaling 240 students, which are divided into 8 classes. Sample is the research use cluster random sampling technique. From the 8 classes, one class will be taken and as the research sample consisting of 30 students. Next is research variable. First, the dependent variable is a variable that's used as a factor that is influenced by one or number of other variables. Second is the independent variable. Influence is a variable that plays a role in influencing other variables. In this study entitled The Effectiveness of Brainstorming Technique to Develop Speaking Skill of the Second Grade Student of SMA Negeri Rawajene, from the title, the independent variable is brainstorming technique, while the dependent variable is develop student speaking skill. In this case, our second grade student of SMA Negeri Rawajene. Research instrument. The instrument that researchers using in collect data for this studying is a speaking test. The researcher will give the topic to the students and the student will explain the topic. The test will focus on aspects of speaking. There are fluency, accuracy, and comprehensibility. Procedure of collecting data. Pre-test, the researcher gave a topic that they were familiar with, then asked them to explain the topic. This is to measure the students' basic ability in speaking. Researcher gave a topic that they were familiar with, they asked them to explain the topic. Treatment. The treatment will be done for 4 meetings. Explain what brainstorming is and explain the rules during the learning process and gives a predetermined topic to the students. After being given a topic, each group will discuss and understand the topic. After that, the researcher will ask each group member opinion about the topic. Post-test. The post-test has the same form as the pre-test and will also be given with the same topic at the time of the pre-test. This aims to determine the development that occurs to students after being given treatment, namely the brainstorming technique. Next is data analysis. The test data will be analyzed using quantitative methods. Using scoring rubric to evaluate student scores and finding out the student percentage speaking score of pre-test and post-test, the student's mean score, the increase in student score in the understanding the given topic, and the significant difference between the pre-test and post-test. Thank you. This is all for my presentation. Thank you.